With us now in Tel Aviv is I-24 News correspondent Pierre Closchendler at a testing site. Pierre, Israel's government warning a lockdown could come perhaps even this month as cases continue to accelerate. How do people in Tel Aviv feel about a possible lockdown? What are they doing about it?
Well, you know, the people in Tel Aviv, and I suppose by extension in all of Israel, are listening to the message of Naftali Bennett, but they don't seem to be convinced by him. They don't seem to be convinced not about the urgency of the problem. They see the figures. They understand that it's like a snowball growing up and eating up more and more people. But given that, you don't have a sense that the people are ready to take upon their own responsibility, which is at the core of this government strategy to live beside the pandemic. And they don't seem also to have a real understanding of the booster shot. The elderly people, yes, but the younger people are starting to have second thought. After all, they were vaccinated with 2 shots, and that doesn't seem to work. So the government, in a sense, is in a bind, and these 2 next weeks are going to be the most critical, because that will tell us whether we're going to go for a lockdown in September during the high holiday season, or if the figures are going to stabilize and even maybe lower down with the help, a little help of the booster shot and of the booster shots and the elderly population, which seems to be disciplined and receptive to the message of the Prime Minister. I spoke to 2 persons who went to this screening center earlier. Let's hear what they had to say.
I think that enforcement of the regulations can prevent the lockdown.
It depends on the people. If they continue to travel abroad and if the number of vaccinated adults and young people continues to rise, then there will not be a lockdown.
Pierre, the people that you're speaking with in Tel Aviv, do they blame someone? Are they angry at someone or something for the worsening situation? Do they blame the government? Do they blame the unvaccinated? Do they blame the young people, the old people? Who do they blame for this?
I don't think they blame anyone. They understand the complexity of the situation, but the government is in a bind, because if your strategy is to live beside the COVID-19 pandemic, then it's going to be very difficult to impose a 4th lockdown. Now remember, the 3rd lockdown was not fully respected, to say the least. And the second problem comes from the lack of receptiveness of many of the people, especially the younger people, those who are between 12 and 15. They don't listen to Naftali Bennett, and Naftali Bennett today exhorted the influencers on the social network, asking them for their help in their language to exhort the younger population, the kids who are 12 and 15, to get vaccinated, because only 30% of that population section has been vaccinated now. So blaming, there's no blame game at this point, but experts are already saying that this government is taking too little steps too late.